All right, folks, good morning. Welcome into the Coffee Run. It's John from ProCraps on Casino Gaming TV. Let's get after it here. Hey, Ian, how you doing? Looks like Joe from Craftsmaster Journeys here. I saw your note, by the way, about the reaction video that came out today. Oh my goodness gracious! Good morning, my friends, Mid Atlantic Craps. Jeff, stick around. I got questions for you in a little bit here. Okay. Before we do it though, let's get after it. Let's get after a regularly scheduled day here. A couple of things I want to go over before we start is obviously the daily reminder, right, of keeping it all under control, right? Understanding like and again, I'm gonna do dumb shit today, right? It's Trendy Tuesday. I'm gonna do my YOLO. I'm gonna play some roulette, and I'll do things that you probably wouldn't normally do, right? But it's a TV show. We're having fun here. Sometimes I teach, sometimes I just have fun. I always have a goal though, right? When I go to the real casino with real money, I have a goal, I have a bankroll, I understand both of those and how they relate. I have strategies to play that I think can help me attain my goal and respect my bankroll, and I understand and I have a good relationship with risk, my own personal risk, right? I identify opportunities to leave and to lean in. I never get emotional and my brain never turns off, right? I've got, I think, iron discipline. It's what separates me and a lot of people that I know from being consistent losers to more consistent winners, right? There's no secret sauce to this whole thing, but by having a good handle on these concepts, you're going to be in better shape. You're not going to get whacked quite so often or quite as hard, and you may be able to walk away up more often than not than you maybe normally used to. So that's the idea here, right? And I'm going to keep doing this too with you every day. This week's inspirational thought, it'll be the same every day this week, is this: you don't look like your goals, you look like your habits. Effort doesn't lie. And I think this is a really important thing. A matter of fact, on this topic, I had this idea, and I'm going to run this by you. My wife has this idea, or not this idea. She's a part of a club, which you guys may be aware of this thing. She does a steps club. You ever heard of this? Where she pays I think she pays whatever, $10 or $20, whatever the number is, right? To this company, to this app. And basically her and like 10,000 people all put money into the app, right? They all pay $10 and they have for 3 weeks, they have to walk 10,000 steps a day or whatever the thing is, 7,500 steps a day, whatever the number is. And basically the app talks to her little Fitbit and communicates, right? So if she does her steps, the phone updates the app and blah, 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 and then whatever. At the end of 3 weeks, everybody who completed the challenge splits the pot. So let's say there was 10,000 people put $20 in and 9,000 people completed it and 1,000 people didn't. The 1,000 people get no money. The 9,000 people split whatever was in the pot, all the $20 from all 10,000 people. So sometimes she'll put in 20 and get out 23. Or put in 20 and get out 31, but it's not a lot of money, right? The point is that it's a competition, right? And her goal is to be a consistent walker, right? And get her heart rate up and all that kind of thing, right? And keep in shape. Her effort is that, and she's accountable to it, right? I think it's a cool thing. Actually, I was thinking that we could do something similar here, right? Think about this, right? Is there a thing that we could do like for dice shooters where it's like you donate to the charity some amount, right? And you go live every day and you publish your 36 rolls or 72 rolls every day. And that's your kind of your Fitbit, right? And your YouTube channel. And the guys who do it split the pot kind of a thing, right? Is that a thing we could actually pull off without breaking any rules? I don't know. Just food for thought. Anyway, good morning, Two Wheel Paradise. Hey, Trey. Hey, Skill. Good morning, everybody. Gary's here too. All right, let's get after it. Let's go do the YOLO here. Let me go get the YOLO on. I think for the YOLO so far, we are 3-0 in the new session here. I have $109 sitting here in the rack. Let's actually go to it, and I'm gonna actually just hand toss from this side of the table today. I'm not gonna because as you can see, I've got the roulette stuff over here. Just move that out of the way so you have to look at it. But here we go. I've got whatever this is, $96 or 125. I think I didn't update my thing. That's $109 is our total money. Let me walk over to the other side. We'll put the bets out there. Let's make some decisions on how we're going to bet today. It's a weird amount, right? We can go 96 across and have whatever, $13 left over. Or I could do something like this. I could lean into the inside, right, and do a little bit of $30 6 and 8, and maybe we'll do that. Maybe let's bump up the 6 and 8 today. Again, it doesn't matter. As long as we spend every dollar we have, it's all good. And go 10, 10, 10, and 10. So $10 on the outside, $30 on the 6 and 8. And if I take the excess here, this $9, we'll keep $1 for safekeeping so we don't get blanked. Let's do an $8 horn. Nice and simple like. All right, $8 horn. Everything else is working. We're heavy on the 6 and 8. All right, and let's grab our dice and we'll see what we get here. I'm just gonna shake and bake from 2 feet away. I'm gonna pull a Waylon here and just go, let's go, baby. What do we got? 3 and a 1. That looks like 4 to me. You see the dice there? There's a 1. There's the 3. That's a 4. That's gonna pay again $18. $15, $18. We'll lose our horn try. So effectively, the horn tomorrow is $8 again, and I got $10 to go on the 5 and 9. That'll be tomorrow's bet. So it'll be $15 here, 10 and 10, a little bit of horn action. I got the extra dollar just for safekeeping. So there's YOLO. We did it again. We got a couple of green chips out there. Look at us go. Yeah, so we have 50, 100, 110, 115, 119 net today. We got the $10 net because we burned $8 on the horn getting through it. But there it is. There's your Tuesday YOLO, and we're working our way through. Maybe someday we'll get past roll 10. Right? Let's get up into the 1,000. I want to get the black chips. Right? Remember last time we got to green chips and then we burned it. A couple of years ago, I did the same thing. We got the black chips, and we ended up burning the black chips at some point, but it was fun nonetheless. All right, here we go. What I want to talk about today is this really quick. And again, think about what I said earlier, actually. Think about, is there room in the world for us to do like a shooter's accountability program, right? Where the shooters put up money into a kitty, right? And every day for a month, they shoot some number of rolls live, like I do, literally streamed live, 36 or whatever the number of rolls is every day. And at the end of the thing, if you did all 30 days or whatever the number we decide is, they just split the pot amongst themselves. Like it's kind of it's not going to be a lot of money. Obviously, you probably win $2, but it's an accountability tool. And it's one of those things where if your goal is to be better, you put in the effort, you'll look like your effort, not like your goal. Right? I think that's kind of a cool thing. Anyway, let's talk tourney. As you know, for Craps for the Cure 2025 in Vegas in September on my birthday, September 12th weekend, the plan is to have a tournament that leads us up to that weekend, right? And on that weekend, on the Sunday, the goal is to live stream the finale, live stream the top 8 players at a table at a casino. We have a casino that's locked in and wants to host a tournament, put prize money, the whole thing. We got to work logistics out on how, where, when, all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of on the side here. The question is, though, I think what we need to get to is having 8 people at the final table. 8, I'm calling them 8 tributes at the final table to duke it out, right? Who's the best 8 players we can find between now and September. And how do we find them? I don't know. Here's what I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking that we've got a bunch of communities out there that are pretty like this with themselves. Now, one of the sets here might be a group set, I don't know. But I'm looking at like this channel, the CGTV people, right? We did Friday Night Fights a while back, a couple years ago. We can resurrect Friday Night Fights, and that's King of the Mountain style. And we'll just do King of the Mountain between now and September, and the last person standing is the champion, right? That's the King of the Mountain. That person gets to play. That would be our tribute, right? Casino Quest could do their 30-year-old challenges and say, look, the winner of the 30-year-old challenge, or the best 30-year-old challenge guy they've got between now and September, is their tribute. And as long as that person can be there, they get to play. That's their person, right? Big AZ obviously runs tournaments all the time. His grand champion would be a tribute to come on out, right? Hawaii Crap Shooters could do it. Charlie doesn't run tournaments at DGE, but I think he's got a pretty vibrant community, people who love what he teaches. He'd be a great person to kind of engage. I think Alfredo, Texas Crap Shooters, has got a very vibrant community. He's not on YouTube anymore. He's over on Kick. But I know he runs tournaments, right? We could talk to Alfredo and say, look, give us your best person, whoever wins your tournament, and have that person come to Vegas and play as part of the final table, right? Arnell runs weekly live fantasy craps. Why not have the best? Maybe he keeps track from now on, and the number one winner from LFC is their tribute, right? Dice Degen, OBC, Mac, like me, run all the time. They're running Crapsy, right? They're not running tournaments, but they're running Crapsies all the time. Is there a way to have each of them put up a tribute, or each of them they work together somehow? I don't know. Mac's been doing this for a long time, right? Craig's been doing the D8 tables now for a long time. Is there a way, Chris, of course, with the March Madness, is there a way to kind of have them put up somebody, right, individually? Color Up's got their big convention in June. I was talking to Brian, Holy Roller. He's got some ideas on how to qualify shooters and kind of create a ranking system. Why couldn't the Color Up best player from DiceCon from that week in Vegas be the Color Up representative? The best player that Jeremy decides from his group of people. They have tournaments all the time too. Their best player could be. Why couldn't Casino Tiers put up somebody from one of their classes that they do and say, look, you've been taking the classes, you come to our things, you're our best subscriber, blah, blah, blah. 10-ton plays with almost everybody. Why couldn't they come out and be the representative, right? I put Craps Nation up there, but really Craps Nation and LFC with Arnell is kind of the same group. Just thinking out loud, right? And there's more than 8 people here, more than 8 groups. And maybe I'm missing a group. Am I missing a group? I don't know. If I'm missing somebody, you let me know who I'm missing. But if this is a good idea, right? The reach out process, I will get started and say, hey folks, let's figure it out. There's more than 8. We need to whittle this down to 8. Either these top 10, 12 groups of people do a prelim somewhere, and then we get to 8 from that. Maybe it's like a ranking system somehow. I don't know. We'll figure that out between now and then. But this is what I'm thinking. And I guess part of the questions that I've got, and maybe you can put a T in front of your, or a Q in front of your answer here. What do you think about rules for this? Like, should everybody, Hawaii Crap Shooters, Big AZ, like all the groups, play by the same rules? Or is it cool that Big AZ does crazy rule changes and the person who thinks it out the most and wins that thing is just his guy, right? We're going to do King of the Mountain. Hawaii Crap Shooters does a weekly thing. Everybody has their own way of determining their own best player, and they're putting that person up at a live table. I would like to see that, but I want to know what you all think. And specifically, what I don't want to get to is a place where people end up following betting, and DGen's got some thoughts, which is great. Please text them in. I want to know what y'all think. What I don't want to get into a situation of is like what DGen ran into, which is follow betting, right? We don't allow that on Friday Night Fights, but it's hard to police that, right? The follow betting thing to determine really the best player. So I love the idea that we did before, the battle royale, which I think really helps determine the best player of that twosome. But for a big group of people, it's kind of hard to do. Anyway, let's think about it. Overthinking Craps says no rules, regular craps. I agree with that. However, if AZ wants to say my best player is this guy, who are we to say that's not his best player, right? It's almost like qualifying matches for other things, right? Like other sports do this where you don't have to qualify by the association's rules. You just show up as the best person from XYZ city and you play along, right? So there's a lot of that too. So think through some of that stuff if you would over the next few days. Anyway, I'll keep asking about it. Let's see. There will be. So Trey's asking about with rooms. We're going to be getting a block of rooms at Palace Station, which is right next to Casino Quest, basically. We can walk there as a group. It'll be kind of hot, I guess, but we can walk there. Rooms will be 25% off. I'm going to have a discount code. When you register for the event, and I'll put the registration form up soon, you'll be able to give, I'll email you back with a code. You use that code to register your room and you get the discount. So there's going to be an automatic 25% off the rooms. If you got your own comps or your own card, that'll augment that. If you don't have a host, let me know. I'm a host with Station Casinos, I can hook you up with a card and get you all dialed in there. So if you need a host, call me directly or email me. It's john@procraps.net. I'll hook you up if you don't have a card and everything else. Let's see. The plan is, Dan. The plan is this. That is the plan. Live table over there. They want to be behind it. They want to be part of it. They want to advertise it. They want to make it a big thing. So, but again, it's not tied in a knot yet, so really can't announce it. But that is the plan for sure. You're getting cart before the horse. That is for sure my plan. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to our daily paycheck. So today I'm going to play roulette. We're going to do hopscotch. One of my favorite roulette strategies. I actually do this a lot on bubble craps. And on bubble craps, it works great because, or bubble roulette because it's easy. I started out at $5 and I ladder up $1 on the losses, right? I do a tiny, because I can afford that, right? It's not a huge ladder. Today we're going to go $100 bets and we're going to ladder up by $25. We're going to do quarter size ladders instead of dollar size ladders, instead of 1/5 ladders. But here we go. It's a simple one. You're going to bet one 50-50 bet, 1 unit on a 50-50 bet, whether it's red or black or high or low or whatever we decide. We will pick it. If you win, you take the 2 units because you got the one that you bet, the one that you want, and you go to 2 dozens. Okay. If a number from the dozens hits, now you go, because you're going to win an extra, you have 3 units now. You'll have the 2 dozens, you lose 1, you win 2, you have 3 units. You go dozen, double street. So your 1 unit becomes a 3 unit double street bet. That's how you kind of grow it out. And then if your number on your double street wins, it's a home run. You win like 8 units total or something like that. And that's the game. So that's the whole thing. We're going to ladder it up by $25 as we go. At some point, we're going to hit it. And it's going to be a fantastic thing. We're all going to freak out. And that's it. Trendy Tuesday. Again, you know how I feel about trends. I feel very strongly about catching a streak. This one's all about catching a dozen streak, right? Once you get your 50-50 bet to fund the whole thing, it's all about sticking to a couple of dozens and having those things get 3 or 4 in a row. So there it is. All right. And I'm going to keep some of your questions on tap here. So again, more questions, queue in front of it. If you want to talk tournament, you have ideas, chat amongst yourselves while I go play some roulette. And here we go. Let me go move this guy out of the table. Oh, you know what we got to do first? Actually, before we jump onto the table, we have to go here. I got to go, hold on a second. I got to make sure we give you our total stats here. Daily Paycheck stats are these. We are at now 40-13, so 75% win rate. And the nice thing is this, the profit's nice, total profit, but the average win's been about 15%. The average loss has been about 19%. When I get done playing today, I'm going to go and bring up the spreadsheet thing, and I'm going to show you why that matters. Why 15%, 19% matters. Okay, let's get to it. Let's go back over to the roulette table and let's rock it out here. I'm going to move this out of the way and move the roulette wheel in its place. And there it is. Whoa, a little too far. One of these days, I'm going to have my whole basement set up as a casino with a real roulette table and a real blackjack table and not have this herky-jerky stuff going on. All right. Let me get, actually, let me go and I need to get a, what do you call it? A rack. You know what? I'll do just a craps rack for now. It doesn't really matter. We do have $5,000 here. Let's get the purples in the rack. There's $5,000 in purples. And what I'll do here is I'll take 1 purple chip. We'll get 4 blacks and 4 greens out of that. We're going to go a black chip on some 50-50 bet. And we're going to go a green chip if we lose. We're going to level up by green chips as we go here. That's the whole freaking system. That's it. Let's try to make $500 as fast as humanly possible. And if I do it once, we'll do it a couple times for fun. But here we go. Let's spin the wheel first. And let's make a decision as a group what we think we want to play on. Okay, we can go high, low, even, odd, red, black. Matter of fact, I'll let you all decide what you think. Let's let it come on out here. We got come on, ball. We got 13 black. So it's odd, it's black, and it's low, right? My preference always is red or black. It's just easier. But if I happen to be standing here at the table and it's a crowded table, you know what I mean? It might just be the low, 1 to 18. It may just be a low because I can't reach, right? So sometimes you do that. Dice Daddy says black. I'm with you. Let's go black. But yeah, sometimes the 50-50 bets don't really matter which one you pick because it's 50-50. It's all about sometimes just where you happen to be standing and what you can reach, you know? And roulette is the whole, sweaty armpit game. We don't like to, I don't like to put my pits in people's faces if I can help it leaning over. So I try to just bet where I'm close to. Again, I'm such a believer in the randomness of this game. I don't care. All right, there's a 7. So we're going to lose the black. Okay. So I'm going to put that black over here in the bank. We're going to go out for 1 1/4 on red. We're just going to follow the leader here. Not a good throw. Follow the leader and let this thing catch up. Tiny, tiny, tiny ladder. It's a 1/4 ladder. The reason why is because the big bet that wins, if it comes out for us, it pays so good. You don't got to be laddered up super high. All right, that is a 34 red, which is fantastic. That's a red. We get paid 1 1/4. Okay. Now we're going to pick 2 dozens. I like the first 12, second 12. It doesn't matter which 2 dozens you pick, but that's what I do. I'm going to go this way here. Now we just need the dozen. We need like a dozen streak to happen. We need to get a dozen win to get an extra unit, and then we need a dozen win on the right double street to really hammer it. But let's get a high number or a low number here if we can first, right? 13 black. That's a repeater, right? 13 black. Fantastic. So we lose the first 12, but we win 2 units on the second 12. What we do, back to the first 12, and then we pick a double street somewhere in this realm, okay? I like this one, the 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. That's a good one. I also like this one because my birthday's in here, right? My birthday is 9/12. I like my birthday. My wife's birthday's in there too. My son's birthday's in there as well, right? This is my favorite double street because of the birthdays. It's the one time in roulette that I actually play, birthdays or whatever because they all happen to be together and it's nice. Now what I want is the first 12 and this double street, if I can pull it off. That's a 5-1 winner right there, right? That'll be a 2-1 winner there. It's going to be a 7-unit win when all is said and done. And we catch it, it's a paycheck, right? As it is, we catch here, 23. So what happens? We lose this and we lose this. They both pay here and they go right back where they were, right? So when you're in this position, that one even number bet turned into, hopefully we're going to tie a bunch before I get my birthday, right? Let's get our birthday. Bulldog, what happened to the Justice Jen YOLO? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I mean, when I was in Vegas with her? Is that what you're asking about? That's going to be, darn, I thought it was there. 18, same thing. Lose these 2, win 2 here, right back to home at the tie. Bulldog, is that what you're asking about? The YOLOs I was doing with Jen when I was in Vegas? I'll tell you what happened if that's what you're asking. But what happened there was I lost it all. I YOLO'd 4 times, lost 1, won 2, lost the 4th one, and that was the end of the day. 25. All right, so we're going to lose. Over to here. So we lose everything. We're going to start over again. Now we're going to go to 2 or 150. So we're going to level up again. That was a red, so we're going to go 150 now is our new unit size. Again, up by a quarter when we lose. Let it happen. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did the YOLO every day. So Bulldog, we do a YOLO in the morning show here right away. So 7:15 or so, I do a YOLO to start the show off. I think we're 5-0 now or something like that. All right, 12. Oh, of course. Look where it lands on my birthday, where we just were. Frick. That's okay. We do get our win though. We get our 150, which is cool. Let's go first 12, second 12. What a bummer. 1 roll away from glory right there, huh? That would have been so nice. Yeah. Nope. This is one of my favorite roulette strat. It's just such a simple little 1 bullet at a time kind of thing. I love it. Damn it. We lost again. 30. It's there. 30 red. All right. So now we're going to be 175. Again, a tiny ladder. When it wins, we'll be fine. There's the 500. Let's get 4 and 4. Okay, once it works out, it'll be nice. All right, we got a red again, so we're going to be on red for 175. Red for 175, and let's get her done, baby. Can this system be expensive? It can. I mean, again, you're only losing 1 unit at a time. You have however many bullets you've got, you're losing 1 unit at a time, not a bunch. You're always at your starting level. You don't have to ladder, right? I ladder because I ladder, but you don't have to. 29 black. Okay, so we're gonna lose again. We have to hop sides. It was 175. Now we go to 200 on the red, or on the black rather. And let's catch it. Let's catch it. I like these roulette systems where you have 1 bullet at risk, not where you're covering the entire freaking board with like 250 bucks and only having 1 donk or something. Those systems suck to me. This to me is a little better. 29, look at that. Is that a repeat? That is a repeat. My goodness gracious. The black pays 200. Awesome. Bam. First 12, second 12. There we go. 200 bucks on the first 2 dozens. Let's have a small number. And roulette is nice because you get great comps in roulette. That's the one thing. I know you get rated really high. You need some bankroll to make it work. Come on, small number. Nice small number here, Johnny. That's a 32. It's not a small number. So far, we're getting planked. All right, 2 1/4 on the red. My gravy. This is not going well. Today, it's not going well. Sometimes I hit this thing right away. And it's like, you know, we'll catch it. We'll catch it. There is a 19 a red. That's good. The red pays. We're 225 on the red. Bam. Again, I'll go first and second 12. You can stay with the dozen that hit. It doesn't matter. I like the first 2 dozens just because I like them. And that's it. Small number. Small number, small number, small number. 28. God darn it. We're getting killed here. All right, that was 2 1/4. Now we're at 2. Boy, this ladder is going to be big. I haven't laddered this one this big in a long time. Let's get 400 and 400. Were we at 250 there? I forget now. I think it was 225. We're at 250 here. We'll do 250. I think we're there. My God, we're going to be laddering pretty big here in a minute. We're on black. Yeah, we're getting crushed here, Airborne Aces. Usually this thing doesn't go this south, but come on. Get black. Get a black for me here. Nope, it's a red. 18 red. That's 250. Oh my gosh, we're going to be at 275 on the red. There we go. Gee whiz. It'll catch up. If we hit it, though, it'll catch up pretty quick. It should anyway. That's a black. Oh my gosh, we're getting bounced around like a madman here. That's 275. We're going to be at 300 bucks now. Good gravy. Good gravy. Let's beat that up for 5. So 1, 2, 300. Wow. We're getting crushed. Maybe I should go back to left-handed again. Left-handed spinning. Switch the wheel direction. Mix things up. Let's go. Let's go red. There we go. 27. That's cool. All right, we got to win. 300. And again, we're going to go with the small dozens. The first 2 I like the best. Let's stay small. Let's stay small. Let's get our win. Yeah, rotate and counter rotate. I got to do something to change it up. Let me see a nice small number here. Oh my goodness gracious. It's a freaking 31. Are you kidding me? Wow. All right. Well, man alive. Let's break another black or another purple. Good Lord. We're going to go here and here. My gravy. We're going to be at 3 1/4 now. This is like the worst ladder ever. 3 1/4. And think about that, right? 1, 2, 3 1/4. If you're at 3 1/4 on a $25 ladder, right? How many losses is that? Yeah, second and third have been hitting, right? How many losses is that? That's 4, 8, 9 losses in a row, right? Crazy town. 29 black. There we go. All right, we're here. That's going to be the 325 rather. All right, let's go. First and second. Again, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes you bet what's coming because it's easy. We could go first and third. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to let these two be the ones. I just like them better. I just like them. Come on, nice small number. 23. Hey, booyah. This one loses, but we get paid here and here. Bamity, bamity. First 12, my favorite, and that one there. Let's go. Let's make this the winner. Yeah, he did. Alex lost, I think, 20-something times in a row on the one show. He never won. There was a couple of shows they did where he never won, which was hysterical. Right? That's when the whole "I'm so unlucky" thing came out of. 15 black. That's here. So again, it's a tie. Lose 2, win 2. It all goes back to the same spot. It's a tie. Yeah, it happens. I mean, you're gonna run into the bad streak. And again, I don't even know if we have enough money here to win it back. Let's see what happens. It's a 20 black, same thing. So we're here and here, right? Same result. It's a tie. If we lose this, though, I'm going to go ahead and do a quick math check and make sure that we're okay with regards to what happens if we win. All right, give me a 9. Give me a 9. No, it's a 33. That sucks ass. All right, 33. Booyah, we lost everything. I want to see though, what would happen if we won? I just want to make sure that we're going to be okay here. If we had won, and I will take these chips all away. If we had won, it would have been 3 1/4 and 3 1/4 here and here, right? That pays the dozen. This pays 5 to 1, right? So it's 5 times 3 is 1,500, 1625. So it would have been 3 purples, 1625 on that. And if we bring all this back, right? If we can bring it all, I'll show you why the laddering is an important piece of this, right? That would be 100. There's a purple, there's a purple, right? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 purple chips, right? Between what's out there. 1, 2, 3. There's the 5 purple chips that's on the felt, right? That would have been our starting bankroll back in the rack, plus this and that is profit, right? So the laddering will work if we can hit it. As it stands, we're not hitting it. And I think I just took 2 purples out of my rack that I shouldn't have taken. So we would be okay, right? That's the point. We would have been just fine had we hit it. Let's take another crack at it though. Let's go break that up. It's going to be 350 now. Yeah, 350. And the last one was black, right? 1, 2, 3, 50. And there we go. All right, that is that. Here we go. Booyah. Every time you try a ladder, you get burned. I get burned on ladders too. This one here, again, when I did this one on the bubble roulette, it's $5 and $1 presses, not 125, right, that we're doing here. But all right, we got a red, which means we lose again. We are getting de-fricking-stroyed. There's another nickel. We're going to go to, wow, 375. Woo! 1, 2, 375. My goodness. So Nemo, that's the exact same thing we're doing here, right? It's a red, it wins. So remember that 5 double streets, right? And just so you know, I'm sure you know this, right? But right, any 2 double streets, right? This double street is the same as a dozen. It pays the same as a dozen ultimately, right? When you're getting enough numbers covered, they all pay. It ends up all paying the same. Anyway, $375. Let's go. $375. Let's go. Bam. You know where I'm going. First 12, second 12. Come on. Come on. Come on. Small number, baby. Small number. I got a buffet. I did get a buffet. Let's go. Small number. 12. Oh, there's my birthday again. Booyah. That's cool. That pays us another $375. Net $375. Right? Because again, we lose that one, but we get paid 2 here. Right? So 1 goes here, 1 goes there. I could actually take it off of this and go to here now. It doesn't really matter. Again, I'm going to keep it there. I think we're going to win on a 9. I think a 9 is going to be the one that pays me. Here we go. This is the one right here. Come on. Good morning, John Crossan. How you doing, man? Let's go. Need a 9. Brother needs a 9. Give me a 9. Give me a 9, baby. Come on. It's a 7. Bam. Who's your daddy? Right there. We burned almost the entire bankroll, but we get it back. This is so awesome. All right, we're going to get paid here. Let's go $375. Let's pay it out. $375 for the dozen. And that's going to pay $1,500 plus 75 times 5 is, I don't know what that is. It's going to be, well, I guess 375. Yeah, 375. 375. Woohoo. 375 for that. 1,500 for the blacks. Now let's color it all up. Let's get everything colored up and see where we landed. Where did we land? My goodness. A lot of crap out here on the table. Give me a second to get all the colors in the right spots. All right, there's the greens. We have, that's 100 in green. So 1, 2, 300, 450 in green. That's $400. That's 500. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are 5. So 4 times 500 is 4 purple chips. 1, 2, 3, 4 purple chips, plus the ones I got out here, plus whatever this mess is, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 goes back in the rack. That's my $5,000 starting bankroll. 5. So it's $1,150 in profit. So it takes a minute, but that it always at some point seems to work, right? I always at some point get the thing to happen, and it does. When it does happen, it's a 7-unit win. You get 2 units here, 5 units there, 7 net units up. If you're laddering, that accounts for the profit. If you're just same betting this, right? This is what I say a lot of times. Same betting will kill you. If you're same betting and you're trying for a win that's 7 units, after you take 7 losses, you can't win. You got to win twice. You got to pull the move off twice to make that up. The small ladder lets you just kind of play through it, and eventually you'll catch it. You only got to win it once. One time the move works, you're okay. If you lose as often as we did, I would have had to pull that move off twice if I was same betting down here to make it work, because it only would have won $700, right? We would have lost. How many times did we lose? We're at 375, which means we lost 4, 8, 9, 10, 11 times, right? It would have been $1,100 in losses, in flat unit losses. We would have won $700 there. We'd still be on $400. You got to do it again. That's why here, this is the one time a 1/4 or a 1/5 ladder. Like again, at the bubble roulette, it's a $5 bet, and my ladder is $1, right? I can do that all day, right? Never hit table max, and eventually that thing ends up doing its thing. So good for us, right? Good for us. A little bit of stress, a little bit of fun. You guys get to make fun of me a little bit, which is always the goal. Find a way to make fun of old Johnny, right? Let's get over here. Let's go back here. Find a way to make fun of me at all costs, right? So we did it. We got our goal was 500. We won $1,100. $1,200. That's fantastic. Now, I've never lost the whole 5K here. I have lost my bankroll, so I won't play $5,000 worth of roulette. But on Bubble, I have lost it, right? And I'll buy into Bubble Roulette for $100, $150, just kind of get in there, get my coffee or whatever. I've lost that whole thing going after it. I've gotten burned 10, 11 times in a row, but at small numbers. More often than not, this thing wins at least once at a time. All right, let me. I want to show you something really quick because this came up earlier. I like this. This is a fun strategy, right? It's a one bullet thing. Anyway, let me go here with you real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and open up my browser. So I want to show you something that came up yesterday. So here's the win-loss limit calculator. Now, if we go back here really quick, let me go back one screen. Hold on. What am I doing? I want to go here with you. Give me a second to get my screen right. Wrong screen. Good gravy. Hold on. Man, just a mess here. That goes there. Here. Is that what I want? There it is. Okay. We're winning. Now, we use these numbers here. 15% win average size. Let's call it 20% average loss size. We're winning 15% of our bankroll. We're losing about 20%. Okay? And our win rate is about 75%. Let's put that into the chart. Okay? Here we go. Put this into the chart. I got this chart over here. I think you should be seeing this, right? Come on, browser. Why are we not seeing that? Hold on. What is happening with this damn thing? There we go. Okay. Now you can see the browser. So let's put that in. Let's say and I'm going to zoom in a little bit here so we can see better. Our average buy-in was 5,000. Our win has been 15%. Our losses have been 20% on average. Our win rate's about 75%. After 100 sessions, if I can maintain this, I'll net $31,000. Okay? If you're winning about 15%, losing about 20%, and winning about 75% of the time, that is your expected return. Now, that's not normal, right? Here's where the 0 point is. And people say, what is the 0? Like, when does it not make sense? Well, if you go from 15 and we lose 45% of our bankroll, if the average loss is 45%, close to a 50%, a lot of people say your stop loss should be 50%, right? If your stop loss is 50% and you're only winning about 15%, you're going to be upside down after 100 sessions, okay? If our win goal is 20%, right, now we start showing a profit. There's a number in here, right? If it's 13%, where we end up getting, say 15% or minus there, 17%, you're at that. So like 16.5% is probably about 16.75% is about your break-even number, right? If you're losing 50% of your money and you're winning 75% of the time, your win goal has got to be between 15 and 20%. This is a good little calculator to kind of show you this, right? If your win goal is 10% and you're losing 30% of the time, 30% of your money, right? 10 to 30 ends up being $0. You're tying, right? So you got to find where is the point that gets you into profit, right? You can either lose less when you lose, go to 25% of a loss limit, and you're going to win some money, right? If you're still here, winning 10%, losing 30%, but your win rate goes up to 80% because you have a different strategy. Now you're winning some money, right? If your win rate is 65%, you better figure this out. You better win, 20% every single time, right? If you have a 65% win rate, you better win more money than 10%. You follow what I'm saying? This tool will help you figure out what your goals should be. When you talk about what should my win goal be? Well, based on your bankroll, right? And again, the bankroll doesn't matter. If I buy in for, it doesn't matter what the number is. If I buy in for $500, right? Or $1,000. Let's be buying for $1,000 like most people do, right? $1,000. You win 20% of your bankroll. You lose 30% at most. You're winning 65% of the time. You win $2,500. That's what this, after 100 sessions, that's what this will show you. Okay. For your strategies, I think what you have to do, let me go back to our regularly scheduled John here. If you're running a strategy, you need to know those numbers. You need to know what your win rate is. I think it's critically important to know what your win rate is on a strategy. When I ran Dallas Drawdown, right, we know that there's going to be I think it was 28% burn rate on the first roll, about a 26% burn rate on the second roll, which was about a 1/3 loss, and then a 70-something% get it done rate. You take all that together, that thing hits paycheck about 69, almost 70% of the time when we did the math on that one. I know Dallas Drawdown's about a 70% winner. Therefore, I can put the 70% into that calculator and say, well, given a 70% win rate, if I know I'm going to win 19% every time, I know that I can afford this amount of loss every so often. What does that loss rate look like? You can figure out your own numbers to get yourself into the expected win that you hope for. Now, the ball and the dice give two shits about your percentage win, right? They could care less what that number says, right? About how often you're going to win and what your percentages are and all that stuff. The dice and the ball do not care. You're not going to get 75% win rate every single time you go. But if you can average that over the big course of time, there's a nice little carrot at the end of that stick for you to chase. And as long as you're disciplined and follow my earlier talk about goals and bankroll and all that stuff, you will have a better chance of getting there than the person who's just shoving all in and doing a Hail Mary on every single shooter. Follow? All right. Yeah, it's a great tool. It's a great tool. And again, you can walk. Here's the thing. If you're up 25%, what you have to do is not necessarily walk. This is that whole identifying opportunity thing, Georgia girl. There's a lean in time, right? If I've got my bankroll back and I've got 25% profit in my rack, that's my key. That's my trigger, right? That's going home. So I put my arms on that. I put it in my pocket, whatever you got to do. You can play with what you have out there, or take half what you have out there and let that be your hammer and get some excess off that table, but don't necessarily pull it all and go. You've got this kind of cool decision point, right? If I got 25% locked and I got money out on the felt or on the roulette, whatever, you can decide, pull it all back and lock up extra to cover a previous loss, or let that thing run. And maybe that's the day that you win an extra 300%. Which happens sometimes, right? People say to me, John, how are you able to say that you're a lifetime winner at this game? The reason why is not because I win 80% of the time. It's because when I lose, I don't take an ass kicking. I'll lose 15, 20%. I have a stop loss of 0, but most of the time I never get close to it. Most of the time I'm hovering around even. Lose a little, win a little, lose a little, win a little, right? I'm hovering here, couple of big thumpers in there, right? Win 6,000. 13,000, right? All those $100 losses get gobbled up by a couple of big wins. I don't really ever take an ass kicking because I follow that kind of logic. That chart is like burned into my brain, right? Where I need to be. And if it's not going my way that day, I'm not going to just pedal down and try and chase it. I just don't have that kind of wiring. And that's, I think, been my secret's the wrong word, but that's been my makeup. I just won't take an ass kicking. Even though I'm willing to put the whole bankroll at risk, I almost never lose the whole thing because I have ways to play that just don't put the whole thing at risk, if that makes sense to you. All right. Let me go check cues real quick. I'm going to make sure that I didn't miss anything on the tournament talk or anything else. So let me go here and we'll hit some quick questions and answers. Let's see. Would I do the final at Palace? We did that one already. Dan's got thoughts. I saw that. Dan says, can this system be expensive? Yes, it can, as you saw. We got laddered up pretty quick there. But even at $5, if I was doing $5 bets with $1 ladders, right, where would I have been today? We had 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We had 350. We had 8. Yeah, why am I losing my train? We had 11 losses, right? So I would have been at $5 bets. I would have been at $16 as my last ladder. Right, 16. That's it. You can get expensive, but again, if you scale your bets down to what you can afford to play with, you'll be okay. All right, I don't see anything else out there. Let's run through the final thing here, and we'll get out. Smart betting, the smart betting calculator. Right, let's run through what we saw today. Does this system reduce risk as soon as possible? No. And the reason why is the risk either stays the same betting, flat betting, or it's laddering. So there's no reducing risk. Now, if you did it to where you said, I'm going to go out there with a black chip. If the red hits, I'm going to take the black chip to my rack and the black chip win and go to the dozens with 2 quarters. Follow me? Instead of taking the black and going 2 blacks, take the black and go quarter. Now I've locked up $50 in profit and my bullet profited. Capiche? You can reduce. I didn't do that. I didn't regress. I pressed. But you can do that. You can lock up profit. So we don't reduce risk. We don't lock up profit soon enough unless you do a regression into it, which can be another way to play it, right? Do we use leverage as a hammer? Abso-freaking-lutely. We take the win from the red and black. We make that the leverage to get 2 dozens. We take the 2 dozens wins, make that the leverage to get the double street. Everything in this is 100% a leverage strategy, right? We lose a little when we lose. You're deciding how big the bullet is. You lose your 1 bullet, okay? When you win, as you saw, it's a 7-unit net win. It's a big win. It's a 1-unit, 7-to-1 payout. It's pretty damn good, right? If you can pull the move off without having to have a tiny bit. You're pulling a 7-to-1 win with having 2/3 coverage. So not a bad little deal. That's why I like it so much. But again, you have to play it differently to get the first 2 check boxes, right? Otherwise, we don't check all the boxes here with this one. So that's my review. Middle Atlantic, John, you said hang in there in the beginning of the show. I want to talk about something. Oh yeah, Jeff. Yeah, I'll go back to it. We were talking about this, and let me go back, way back here. Wrong screen. About the tournament. So what I'm going to do, Jeff, we're going to end Craps for the Cure with a big craps tournament. I want to get the best 8 players at the final table, WSOP style, right? I'm trying to decide how do we determine the best 8 people. Right? You run Crapsy every day, right? You're in on the Craps for the Cure, obviously, right? I would like for you to be able to put up a tribute and say, look, this is the MAC player of the year. That person goes to Vegas if they can go and plays, right? Something along the lines of people need to put up money to enter your tournament. They're putting up money and saying, yes, if I win, I'm going to go, they're committing. I'm going to win your MAC tournament. I'm going to go get myself to Vegas and play in the final table. Would you be interested in that? Is the number 1 question. Number 2 question is, does the idea sound where however Mac decides to be the champion, declare his champion, however Brian decides to declare his champion, however Big AZ decides to declare his champion, those people become the final 8. I've got more than 8 groups here, right? So how do we whittle this group down, maybe even add people to it, and then whittle it down to the final 8 that get on the final table? It might just be 12 people come and we have a Casino Quest thing at Craps for the Cure and we whittle it down to 8 and 8 people play for the 50K. That's what I wanted your eyes on, Jeff. And just, I've got you called out here. I know you do this and we'll see what you can handle. Number 1, if you want to, number 2, and if it makes sense, number 3. So we don't want to have 8 YouTubers at the final table. I don't want it to just be that. I don't want it to be a popularity contest. I want people to earn their way in. I would prefer that. Now, if maybe next year we can think about it, but what if it was me and Wager and Jeff and Jared, you know what I mean? Okay, it's good TV, but is that 8 people that really bought in and earned their way to it? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know if I like that idea or not. I thought about it. I thought about doing it regionally, like having like a Northeast, Southeast kind of thing and having like regions represented somehow. Then everybody's got to play by the same rules. And you got to have people dealing and all. That would be more of a logistical nightmare than just saying, Jeff, give me a guy. Big AZ, give me a guy. Hawaii crap shooters, give me somebody, right? I'd rather do that and spread the love a little bit and let them figure it out. So, all right, that's my show today, guys. That's the last thing I've got for you. Bet smart. Run your strategies through this kind of a filter right here. Run your life through the bridge filter and use the tool I gave you online to calculate stuff out and just go in there with eyes wide open, right? With your expectations, especially what your strategy's expected win rate is. That's an important thing. So all that said, guys, happy Tuesday. God bless you. I'll see you tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm out. Bye.